Well, again, we're back. And this is my third install on my favorite trees to grow in containers. Right before you is a fig tree, specifically a Kadota fig. This fig will be 3 years old next month, 2023. This fig has grown tremendously. Once again, I want you to look at the 6 foot tall tree, or shall I say fence in this case, and I'm gonna simply pan the camera up and you can see how tall the tree actually is with its tallest branch. So let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. Now, there are some things I'm going to be sharing with you folks. Air layering, but also notching. And the fig tree is the perfect tree to do those things on. I'm going to share with you why I love to air layer, but more so why I love notching my trees and what notching does to a tree. Now, the soil I use for this tree, the fig tree to be exact, is simply a good high quality rich potting mix. Once again, using something that's going to be a little bit more porous. Sometimes you can purchase soils that are going to have the necessary ingredients for you to have an all-around soil for your containers. But other times you may want to add a little bit more drainage to your containers by adding vermiculite. And sometimes you may want to add some substrates to allow you to hold on to a little bit more water, such as cocoa coir. But let's get a little bit close. I feed this tree on a monthly basis, and I make sure that the tree gets an all-purpose fertilizer. Let me give you an example. 10-10-10 NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. If it's 12-12-12 or 15-15-15, that's fine. But you don't want to overdo the nitrogen. This is why anytime you find individuals who use fish emulsion along with a substrate fertilizer that has high nitrogen content, they get leaf burn. Do not use fish emulsion with your urine. That's too much nitrogen for any plant. So let's get a little bit closer, and I'm going to share some things with you. So as we get closer, you can see all of the figs are starting to form. And most of the figs, when you look how they form on the outer branches of every branch. They don't form in the inside. And one of the things I want to share with you, when you look at this fig tree, you see there's a lot of space in between here. There's also a lot of space in between there. And we could take care of that easily, simply notching. I'm going to show you how to do it and show you how to produce more branching on your tree, producing more leaves and giving you a fuller tree. So let's get in here. I'm going to share something with you really quick. Now notice here, you have nodes, one on this side, 3, 4. And these are all over the tree. So if you look at the node itself, right here, you simply want to take a sharp knife and go above it. And simply, you see that little cut I put there? Right there? That's what you want. And I'm going to do this all around the tree. And this is going to help and tell the tree, hey, I need to send out some new branching. And I literally waited to do this video for you guys so you could actually see if you have a fig tree that looks very bare, then get in there and notch it. I even do this with my citrus trees, and I've proven that it does work. Now, some of you have said it doesn't work for you, but a lot of you are performing this on a very young tree when it comes to citrus trees, and you don't want to do that. Now notice the sap that is oozing from the actual cutting. This sap is important. Now I wouldn't get that on your skin, it can irritate you greatly. But this sap is very, very important because what it does is signal to the tree that I've been cut or injured. And this sap is going to ooze and is going to quickly, within 48 hours, provide a sort of a packing. It's going to heal that cut by packing it. And when that happens, it's going to send out a branch right here from this node. And it's going to do the same as you see with all of the cuttings that are now bleeding. Yeah, that's the way a fig tree bleeds, people. But sometimes we have a larger task, and we have these big, huge branches that we need to pay attention to right away. So one of the things I like to do is get in here and just go nuts when it comes to my notching. And once again, be careful with the delicate hand. And we're going to get in here. We're going to notch because we want to fill in these areas. Now, if you don't want branches in certain areas, do not notch. Sometimes you can overcrowd things. So don't do it in certain areas. Okay, but I want one here, I want one here, I want one here, I want one here. And we're going to go down here. I want to fill in this area here. I want to fill in down here. And you probably can't see this on the camera right now, but I want branches to form so that, you know, I can have a more fuller tree. And remember, you don't have to do this over the entire tree. And you don't have to go crazy. So here's what I'm going to suggest most of you do. Okay? I'm going to suggest you notch only about 3% of your tree. Okay? Let it heal for 30 days. Come back and notch again after 30 days have passed. You got to give the tree time to heal. And I don't want you folks disappointed. Okay? So just do 3%. What is 3%? Well, what's 3% of 100? It's quite simple, right? We all know that. In other words, just deal with one branch. Deal with one branch. And then you can go to the next branch every 30 days. Well, that's pretty much it. Now, when it comes to pests on a fig tree, once again, those pesky ants. And in some cases, you may have some other issues that could happen to fig trees, such as canker. If you ever have that happening with your tree, don't worry. Stop overwatering it and make sure your watering it is consistent. My containers, it's best to water your trees one time per week and make sure you water them until the water comes through the drainage holes. If you're dealing with triple degree temperatures, you may want to water them twice a week. But one of the ways I learned how to water my trees is simply take your hands, place it on the top of your container, and pick it up. If it's heavy, it doesn't need watering. If it's much lighter, it needs watering. I don't do the finger test no more because sometimes your roots can become so vigorous, those feeder roots. And well, tell you what, they don't allow you to dig in the soil anymore. So until next time, happy harvesting and bless you all. The fig tree is truly a symbol, a spiritual symbol, and I hope that you all got the message. Shalom.